Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cardboard Commander. My name is Jerry, and today we will be doing our sortie number 2 for the YouTubers edition of Western Front Ace. Flight A will start us off with IDJester and Zilla Blitz. So we won't delay any longer in getting this started. So I will have this pulled up here. As you guys know, the first sortie went down, and let's just say poor Nate did not fare very well in that situation. I've got a little board here that kind of tells the story of everything that's going on. But Nate here at Board Game Bunker started off in Flight A. Unfortunately, he died on the first sortie. So we brought up Zilla Blitz to take his place. Also in Flight B, we had Tony's Board Life and Rough Swordsman. And Rough was severely wounded. And in this campaign, if you're severely wounded, we just move you to the queue that's over here to the right. So he's down there in the queue. So if you don't see your name on the side over here and you want to take part in this, just let me know. I'll be adding more people. We'll just be kind of running this through. But today we're going to be doing our sortie number 2. The first thing we need to do, though, is we need to do school for Zilla Blitz, since he will be a new pilot for us. So we're going to do that real quickly. So we're going to kind of come up here and get into the game, and we're going to get into flight school pretty quickly. So Zilla is going to start off with gun training, and so you flip 3 combat cards in the 2 firepower column. If there's a 4, 5, or a DE, then he will get the -1 gunnery skill. So we will play for that. So we will go ahead and get the cards down here, and we will pull 3 cards. So the first card is on the 2 chart is a 3, so that doesn't work. The next one is a 3 as well, so that doesn't work for him. And the last one is a 2. So Zilla does not get the -1 gunnery when it comes to his training level. So unfortunate, but that's the way the ball bounces there. So I'm going to try this. I think we can make this a little bigger, and hopefully the cards will be seen a little bigger. So let's try that going forward. All right. So now the second thing we do is we roll 2 die 6. And if we get a 9 through a 12 result, it's a success, and he will get the ACM -1 skill. So he'll be able to purchase the next ACM for 1 less experience point. So we're going to go ahead and roll that. So we're going to roll 2d6 right here. And he rolls a 9, as you can see. And so he is successful for that. So that is great news. So he gets the -1 ACM there for his training card. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to roll 3 times on the B7 chart. And that... I'm not sure the charts are up here on this one. I've got 2 different charts, so I don't think it's on here. So what we'll do is the B7 chart. I will pull that up for you right here so you can take. I got a little cheat sheet that I have. So the B7 chart is right here. 1 through a 12 is a safe landing. Anything else is bad. And so what we do for training school is we roll 3 times on the B7 chart with a +2 training modifier. And if he can make all 3 without a rough landing, then he will go ahead and get the landing skill. So we'll try that first. So his first landing roll is a 9, add 2 is 11. So he's good. His next one's a 10, add 2 for 12. He's good. He's pressing his luck here. And the last one is a 4. So he does get the landing skill. So Zilla comes out of here with the landing skill and the -1 gunnery. So that's good. Then the last thing that we're going to roll for is the spare time activity. So if he rolls a 1 or a 2, he'll get the physical training, which means he'll get a stamina marker. If he gets a 3 or 4, he'll have study time. He'll gain an experience point. And if he rolls a 5 or 6, he earns a prestige level of 1. And he also receives a +1 DRM for his promotion roll, as he got in a little bar fight and did well. So we'll see what that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we roll. And we're going to roll 1. He gets a 4. So extra study time. the player gains 1 experience point. So he's going to gain 1 experience point, which is fabulous. So we add 1 there. He also grabs 1 experience point for graduating school. So he has got 2 experience points as he heads into his first sortie. So that is it for Zilla Blitz's training. And now we will head off and start off in our first sortie. So that first sortie, we will start off with IDJester. Well, you know what? We got Zilla here, so let's do Zilla Blitz first. Zilla's going to be, like I said, a fresh pilot doing his first sortie. So we'll see how things pan out there. I will be doing the dice rolling here, so you can probably not see that, but I'll be doing that. I use these 2 big dice for the initiative. You won't be able to see that, but it's just more of my kind of reminder. And then, of course, I have the charts over here. I won't be showing you all the charts. You will just have to take my word for things. Hey, I'm going to miss stuff. It happens all the time, but just let me know if that's the case. But there's no do-over, so if I goof, I goof. And we are going to take over from that. So also, our each pilot gets 2 good luck charms instead of 1. And he can use them anytime as long as it's during the 1 sortie. So he can use it twice in 1 sortie. So last time we played, Nate used both his good luck charms and still died. So you can still die with your good luck charms. This is a very brutal game, and so we really have to worry about what we're doing there. So, hey, Jester, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I saw that we're canceled. Looks like a bunch of things were just going wrong. So I did get the email. I appreciate you doing that, and thanks for stopping by. Jester, you'll be flying next after Zilla Blitz. Your new green pilot is with you. Last time IDJester didn't get a victory, but he survived. So that's a very important thing to do. So now we're going to start off with Zilla here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start off with, I guess we need to get some markers out here so we know what's going on. So we'll grab a damage marker, and we'll grab some ammo markers, and we will clone those so we all have enough of those. So those will all go onto his, they're already on his flight, so we don't have to do that. But we will keep the markers out here for some damage, just in case we do have some damage. Then we're also going to pull some other markers. We need to get, let's see, we don't need any fighters. We got our SPAD out here. We do need our endurance markers. So I need to find out where those are at. We also have our good luck charm. I'm going to put that out here as well on our pilot. And it will show that he has 2. And then we will also grab awards. I don't know where they're at in here. That's weird. It's not a major offensive. Markers. So I don't know where the markers are for this. That's weird. So you'd think they would be in the counter. So thanks for all of you guys that are out there watching. I see there's 4 people watching. Let's see. Random events, no. Not under major offenses. Markers, I don't know where these are at. Maybe I'm missing them. Maybe you guys can help me out here eventually and let me know where they're at. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It won't let me click on any of these markers up here, though. I use 2 different modules, and so the modules kind of get me freaked out a little bit here. So, well, we're not going to waste any more time. I'll just have to remember that, and we'll see if I can do that. And I'll try to find those for the next time here. But what we can do, though, is I will grab just a couple extra markers, and we will just use those as we'll just use those as some counters here. So I'm going to we'll just grab one of these and we'll clone it. No, we won't, since it won't let me clone it. We'll just grab one of these. And basically, I just need to be able to move them around, and it's not going to let me move them around. All right. Well, we'll worry about that when we get going, folks. So let's go ahead and get started here. So Zilla Blitz is going to start. So he will jump into the takeoff box, and we will see if he encounters anybody. We're going to roll on the takeoff chart. So the first roll is an 11. And what do you know? Zilla Blitz takes off from the aerodrome and runs into a two-seater right away. So we will see which two-seater he runs into. We're in 1916. So we're going to roll on the two-seater chart for 1916. And we roll. Rolls a 6. And we're going to have the LVG Roland C2. So let's put this down to 40%. So he will have the Roland CG2, which is this one right here. Let me make this bigger a little bit. So we will be in this area right here in the middle. And so he will also have oh, you know what? What did we roll? We rolled a 6. LVG Roland. Yeah, okay. So he's got a speed of 10 and an agility of 1. So I'm going to mark that with our little die here. Shout out to the guys at March Madness at the ASL tournament. I got that at the ASL tournament. It was one of the awards. So I use it to keep agility. And then our airplane, there it is. So I do have those gestures. So I was just happened to be on the wrong board. So that works out well. So again, we're taking off and he's there. And our current mission was a friendly offensive patrol. So all we have to do is go to friendly territory. And now we go ahead and let's put this down to 40 so we have plenty of room. And now let's see what we're going to do now. So we have to see where we're going to engage each other. So we go ahead and roll that dice. And we roll a 7. So our orientation to start off is head on. So we start off head on. I'm going to go ahead and bring the counter over. So we're just going to clone this, or no, we're not. We're going to grab a counter and we're going to two-seaters, and we're going to grab a Roland. There he is, and bring that over here. And so we are both head on as we come into this. Also, our pilot Zilla has reflexes, and he gets the advanced maneuver 1 automatically. And we also know that he has the landing, and he also has the -1 gunnery. So we are going to start off there. So we're going to start off. So the first thing we're going to do, our first decision is we're head to head. So what are we going to do? So of course we're going to fire and they're going to fire. Our guns are this is not the right SPAD. This is the right SPAD. So our guns are going to be a 3, and he will have, he does have rear guns on his. So he is coming. So we're face to face. So they cannot try to disengage until they are advantaged or tailing. So right now we will have to go ahead and they will just have to try to defensively maneuver and get out of the way. And so they will pull a card and we will pull a card. So our first card is, we're firing on the 3 column, a potential of 5 hits. So I'm going to put that up there just so we remember. And then he is going to, everything happens simultaneous. So we're going to roll for him. And he evasive and avoids all damage. So nothing happens there. So we roll again now. So unfortunately, we had 5 potential hits. Zilla had a good start, but the 2-seater wants to have no business fighting there. So he's going to go ahead and try to avoid. So now we're going to roll orientation. So he has got, or initiative, again, he's got a 12. And so he's got a 12 because he's got a 11. No, he's got 10, 11. And then we are at a 12 because we have 11 speed and 1 agility. So we're at a 12. So we're going to each roll a die. And we will see who gets initiative. So you know what? Yeah, we're just going to roll here because it's easier. So the Germans roll a 3. So they have 14. We roll a 2. So we're a 14. So we stay exactly the way we are. So again, the 2-seater is going to be defensive. We are going to be offensive because we want to make sure that we get some damage here. So we're going to flip the card. So our card first on the 3 chart is 3 hits, potential hits. And his defensive is he improves by 1. And if he's got a rotary, by 2. So let's see if he's got a rotary engine. He does not. So he improves by 1. I'm sorry, that's going to rotate that way, that way, that way. And then he improves by 1. But that's after all this happens. And then we're going to have 3 potential hits. So we're going to roll for our 3 potential hits first. And we're going to come over here to our chart and find out what those are. So the first potential hit is a 42, which is a port strut. So we're going to add some damage there. Then we're going to roll a 35, which is a port strut. So we've hit each strut, and then the last one is going to be a 36, which is controls. So a damage to controls is he has -1 agility. So that's going to hurt him a little bit. So he's going to go down to, oh, this is R. That's not us. So let's undo damage. Undo damage. Let's make sure we're doing the damage to the correct people, right? So port strut, starboard strut, controls. They have no agility. So they go down to a 10 for their initiative. And we are done with their hits, and that is the end of that combat. So now we go ahead and we also need to use, we fired twice, so use ammo. So now we're going to go ahead and roll for initiative again. The Germans roll a 3 and add that to 10 is 13. We roll a 5, added to our 12 is a 17, so that's a 4 advantage. So we actually gain 1 position back. So that is going to make us head-to-head again. I didn't want to do that. So that is going to make us head-to-head again. And again, this time they will go defensive again. We will fire. So here's our fire. We use an ammo. Want to make sure we do that. Then we fire. The first fire we do, again, on a 3, we do 5 potential hits. So that's really good. And then they're going to come back and do the split S. So they're going to avoid 1 hit, and then they're going to end the encounter. So that's the best result they could have had. We got 5, but -1 hit. So we get 4 potential hits. So Zilla better do some good shooting here, or else he's going to let this 2-seater off the hook. So the first shot is going to be an 11, which is a crew injury. So that's a good start. So we're going to roll there. So a 2 through a 7 is the pilot. So we're going to roll. It is an 11. So that is not the pilot. That is going to be the observer. And we roll on and he rolls a 2. So he is lightly wounded. So the observer is lightly wounded. And we will put that down here. So we will go to his crew. And observer status is lightly wounded. So now that's the first shot. So we have 4 more to go. Oh, we're not doing that. We'll roll it up here. 35 is a port strut. So we're going to move that down there. And then we've got 2 more rolls. So we're rolling a 15 is a landing gear. And then the last one is a 41 is canvas. So unfortunately, Zilla lets him off the hook and he flies away into the wild blue yonder. Zilla has used up, he's still got three ammo left, and that was in the takeoff box, sorry. So he's in the takeoff box. So now he's going to go ahead and move into friendly territory. And we're going to use an endurance, and we're going to see if there's an encounter. So we'll just put this dice tray away, and we'll use the dice tray up there. That'll make it easier for everybody. So he rolls an 8 on the encounter chart, and that encounter is nothing in friendly. So now he has a choice. He could loiter, but he's not going to because he's new. He wants to get back safe and sound. So he is going to go ahead and just start boogieing back to the aerodrome. So he's going to go back into here. We're going to use an endurance. He's going to roll on the encounter chart. He rolls a 7, no encounter. So now he's going to go ahead and land. There is no damage to his plane, so it doesn't matter what the weather is, but the weather is good. And he's going to roll. He's fine. So that's the end of that sortie for Zilla Blitz. And the good news is he makes it home alive, which is more than poor Nate could say after his encounter. So we're going to go to Zilla Blitz here. So Zilla has 2 experience points because he got that through training. He has the landing expertise and the ACM -1. So we're going to put those there. He also gets reflexes for free. And he also gets advanced maneuver for free. So yeah, not a bad. So he encountered a 2-seater, but he did not knock it down, but he survived. So he encountered a 2-seater. Who got away, but he made it home safely. So he has a successful mission. So we're going to click that up here for him. He's got 2 experience points. So not a bad start for Zilla Blitz. And like I said, he survives and makes it through there. So that's really good. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to our war mat here. And we're going to end the mission. So clean up all of that. We're going to reshuffle our deck. And now we're going to set this board up as Jester. So we go back over to our record keeping, which is right here. And Jester has an experience level of 1, prestige of 1, fatigue of 1. He should only have 1 success mission. Maybe I'm just foreshadowing. So so we go back to his board. So he's got 1 experience. He's got 1 prestige, 1 experience. And he also has he had another gunnery thing, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, so he had landing and gunnery -1 and the others. So he has landing and gunnery -1. So he does not get that, but he has a gunnery -1, which is there. And then he has the reflexes and everything that's already on the board. So we should be good there. So we do not have a wingman, so he's absent because technically we're at the beginning of the game that they are wingmen. So now we go over for IDJester and his sortie. So he's got the same thing. He has to go to friendly territory. So we're going to go ahead and take off. And when we take off, we are going to scan the skies and see if there are any enemies, pilots in the area. So we rolls a 7 on the encounter chart. That's no encounter. So he's going to go to friendly territory. And we're going to move the endurance up. And he's going to roll again for an encounter. He rolls a 12. So that is an encounter. But the first 12 rolled per sortie is a random event. So we're going to have to see what that random event is. And there's a whole bunch of them on here. So I am not going to read them all to you. I'm going to roll and we'll let you know what that random event is. So he rolls a 5. Pick any skill. You may use this sortie. Use it for this sortie only. So, folks, one of the best skills to have is Sixth Sense. So we're going to use that for this sortie. And Sixth Sense, just to let you guys know what that is real quick, that allows you, I'll pull it up real quick here. So the pilot has developed an uncanny sense of impending danger. Any DE result on a combat card against him is instead converted to 2 random hits. So Jester is really going to have some advantage here. So he's very fortunate as he gets the Sixth Sense for this mission. So now we roll again for an encounter. He rolls a 5, and that is a fighter. So he does encounter a fighter over friendly territory. So we will see what fighter that is. That's a 9 on the fighters, and that's a Halberstadt D2. So we're going to come over here and pull up a Halberstadt D2. And that Halberstadt D2 has an agility rating of 2 and a speed of 9. So he has an 11 for initiative. And we, of course, have our 12 for initiative. So we have a little bit of advantage. So now we're going to roll and see what our orientation is to start this encounter. So as we're looking around the sky, he rolls a 10. And that means the enemy starts advantage. So Jester starts off behind the gun here. We will go to other fighters, and he gets a Halberstadt. Oh, you know what? Let's we pulled up the Halberstadt, didn't we? Yeah. So we're gonna just move that over here, and we will put the. Well, really, we will. Let's put this like this. The Halberstadt will come right over to here. Okay, I can't get this to drop. Let's try this again. The Halberstadt will come. Oh, it may not let me put him on a different board. Okay, so what we'll do is we will just go ahead and pull any aircraft counter here. We know what it is. So Halberstadt, no, we already did that. We want to pull it. So let's pull the aircraft again. It's not friendly. It's an enemy. And oh my gosh. All right. So we've got the Halberstadt here for the enemy. And for friendly. Okay, why isn't it allowing me to keep both? It did before. So French, and we're going to be. Sorry about this, folks. Good news is not many people are watching anyhow. So we're going to go to SPAD 7, which is available at start. Then we're going to add aircraft. So friendly aircraft. Enemy aircraft. There we go. And that's a Halberstadt. So we'll go there, go to 40, Halberstadt, that's him there. Okay. So now all we're going to do is grab a counter, and we're going to grab this over here and throw it over there. So that's all we're going to do there. So they are advantaged. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to rotate us. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to be defensive, and we are going to try to be defensive by just using a card. They will fire away. So they get to fire away at a 3 as well. So we will be defensive. So we go, our defensive card is a split S, and we end the encounter, which we didn't really want to end the encounter, but it avoids a hit for us. So that's okay. And they're going to attack us with a 5 possible hit, but we do get rid of 1. So 4 possible hits. And those 4 hits are, the first one is a 64, which is, got to find the right chart here again. 64 is forward weapons. So the good thing is our encounter end because he just knocked out our forward weapons. So on the first hit, the second hit is a 31, which is a tail hit. The next hit is a 55, and that is a canvas hit, which is a miss. And then the last one is a 36, is a control hit. Okay. So we missed, we end the encounter. So the Halberstadt flies off into the sunset. And we are now in a situation where, so we've survived. Jester survived. He's in good shape. He's got a little bit of control hit, but he's not that damaged. He's got a damaged tail. So he's going to loiter for 1 round just to see if he can find another fight. He feels like he needs to get into the war here a little bit. So he's going to roll for another encounter, and he rolls a 10 in friendly. And that is a no encounter. So he could loiter 1 more time. And he will. So he'll go loiter 1 more time. He rolls another 12. Oh, and so he probably didn't want to do that. So now 3+ fighters. So that's not good. So now we have to roll and see. So this is the first time I've ever seen this in any of our games. So there's 3+ fighters. So I have to see what that means. It can't be good for Jester, though. The good news is he's still got both of his good luck charms for this, and he's got his sixth sense. So things are okay there. We just have to see what we're going to do for encounters. So if there's more. So he loitered, the use of the mat. Okay. Roll for a specific chart, depending on the national at the first. Okay, so I rolled on the chart, 3 fighters. So what does that mean? So let's see. Sorry, folks, for those of you watching, you're learning along with me. It's the first, I played this game a long time, and it's the first time I have seen this. So we have to see what this is. So 3 fighters. I do not see. So does like you take on 3 different fighters? How does this work? So let's see. We're going to look in here and see how this works. I do not see in the encounters. It just says encounters. It says just roll on the chart. The use of the map. Players may simply track the aircraft. After rolling an encounter, roll for the specific aircraft. Depending on the national, at the time, find the enemy aircraft map that corresponds to your encounter, as you will use it to track. Okay, I get that. But what does the fighter +3 mean? What does that mean? 3+ fighters. So let's see if it's in one of the other play aids. Maybe it's in one of these that tell you that's a disengagement mission. All right, let's go to one of the BGG has a whole bunch of really nice little play aids. So let's see if we can find something there. So mission, we did that. Encounters. So roll 2d6. Go to A3. We did that. So, folks, I do not know what that is, and I am not going to hold up our time any longer. So I'm just going to say it's a regular fighter encounter. I'm sure I'm letting Jester off the hook here, but I don't know. If any of you guys know what that means, go ahead and put that down in the thing. I'll have to look at it a little later, but it's not coming up here. So I want to make sure that we just get moving and go from there. So, okay, so we're going to take that as a regular. So we're going to see what fighter it is. So we roll a 7 on the 1916 fighter chart for the Germans. And that is 1916 German fighters, and we rolled a 7. So that is a Halberstadt D2. So we're going to go to the enemy aircraft. Halberstadt D2, and we're right back to where we were at there. So now we go ahead and roll to see what our orientation is. So we roll a 7. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be head on. It is. So we are rolling head on. So now we go ahead and go into combat. And with that being said, still bugging me about the fighter thing, but I'm not going to let it slow me down any more than it is right now. So we're going to go ahead and go to the combat. I just want to make sure I'm not making any more mistakes. So air combat. So we're going to so we roll for orientation, and we have 7. It's head on. So while we're both head on here, so now what we can do, we can go. We're going to go ahead and fire. They're going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and fire as well. So he's got a fire of 3. We've got a fire of, oh, you know what? Jester's guns are knocked out from that last. So, okay, we do not want to tangle with anybody. So we're going to go defensive. And then he will go. So our defensive roll is we improve by 1. But again, that's after this happens. He's going to attack us with a 3 firepower. And that is a 2. So we gained. Yeah, so he gains 2. So the first shot is a 15, and that goes to the 15 is a landing gear hit. So we go ahead and do a little damage to our landing gear. And then the next hit is a 64, which is forward weapon. So they're already knocked out. So we've done that. So now we go and we look for initiative. So our initiative is we're a 12 and he's an 11. So we're going to roll. The first number is for us, for Jester, and the second number is for the Germans. So Jester rolls a 3, which is a 15. They roll a 6, which is a 17. So no change. So now we did gain 1. So now we're advantaged. So we're going to try to disengage. So us trying to disengage, we are going to I think all we need is a 1 through a 4 for him to disengage. I'm going to double check that. Yep. So we're going to roll a 1 through a 4 and he disengages. And Jester flies off into the sunset away from the guy. So we get out of there. So now we're in he sees the aerodrome in sight. So he's going to roll again for another encounter. He rolls a 6, which I think he's okay when he gets out. Yes, he's okay. So now he's going to get to land, and we've got a few things that we've got to worry about for landing now. So the first thing is we've got a control hit, so that's +1. We've got a landing gear hit. So let's see. Controls hit. Landing gear. So we get +1 for that. His skills are, he has landing. So the landing and the landing gear cancel each other out. So we're going to And then with the controls hit, we add 1. Let's roll for weather first. That's a 7, so it's good weather. So we're going to add 1 to our landing, and so he rolls. He gets a 9, and it's a safe landing. So Jester makes it home safe and sound. Not probably what he didn't get to use his 6th sense too much, and probably not what he was looking for, but he survives. So that's all you can ask for in this game sometimes. So we're going to have the 2nd successful mission for Jester. And nothing else really happens here. So, folks, that is going to be the end of our sortie number 2 for Flight A. Stay tuned, as we will be doing sortie number 2 for the B flight, and that is for Tony's board life and wardrobe. And wardrobe will have to go through some training too. So, until next time, everybody, thanks again for watching. Check out cardboardcommander.com, and we will talk to you soon. Be safe. Be kind. Happy wargaming, everybody. Talk to you later.